What is it? Have I been down here so long? Is the madness so great that I see the faces of the damned before me? Or is it really you? It is! By the tome! Come closer. Let me look at you. It has been an eternity since I've seen a trusted face. Are you? In many ways, your awakening has brought me nothing but misery. But that is not your fault. I am to blame for all of it. Wait. Do you hear that sound? It could be the Sons of Laz, but it could be someone else. The last we spoke, it was the Tuatha that reduced my lab to cinders. Now it's assassins. Everywhere I go, destruction follows. I have grown so weary of it, my friend. All I ever wanted was to unlock death's secrets, to shed light on the shadows. I never wanted this. Thank you. For more than just your protection, for being the one good thing to come of this disaster. I have few friends, but I gladly count you among them. You must be mistaken. I've tried to contact him ever since I fled Alistar, but he never replied. Until now. Octien. Of course. When all the facts are considered, the truth will emerge. Ah, I am a fool! Octien has sent you to search for me. To have us killed together. Those assassins are proof of this. The Well of Souls is his project. Once it was functioning, he no longer needed me. Not if he could salvage the well in Alistar with Ventrinio's help. Ventrinio de Cellini. We used to work together, in this lab, on projects sponsored by Templar Octien. But when we were tasked with creating the well, Ventrinio sought to use any means at our disposal, regardless of the implications or consequences. Eventually, he was taken away, and I was sent to work at Alistar. But it seems he continued his work here. Long enough to create those monsters. They are the animated dead. Early experiments in the field of immortality. They will forever haunt these cursed caverns. Ventrinio named them after a mythical figure who rose from the dead. He looked on them and saw potential. I see only abominations. No, not me. But Ventrinio's old notes suggest that he may know a way into Alabastra. I wonder, perhaps, is it possible that you have met Ventrinio already? That would explain it. You were attuned to his well, but raised from mine. Unfortunately, the only way to find Ventrinio is to go through Templar Octien, which will not be easy now that we know of his treachery. Never. The only voice he wishes to hear is his own. We cannot deal with Octien within the boundaries of Edessa. Not alone. There is one who has the power to discredit him. Templar Joriel. She is reputed for her wisdom and strength of character. And as I recall, she and Octien do not exactly see eye to eye on matters of policy. If Joriel can make Octien answer for his crimes, then we will gain access to his information. That includes the location of Ventrinio's lab. If you wish to uncover the mystery of your deaths, then you will need Ventrinio. He is the key to Alabastra. Find Templar Joriel in Edessa. We don't have much evidence, but I have a feeling she will help us. Ah, Odessa, the great gnomish city-state. Knowledge, reason, and logic rule there, as do bureaucracy and intrigue. A clever gnome can go far in that city, and a wise gnome goes far away from it. It's everything I've been able to put together concerning Templar Etienne's crimes, with supporting evidence from Ventrinio's notes and correspondence. I always suspected I might need leverage over Etienne. It seems Ventrinio felt the same. You must remember to thank him for me. I am Fomerus Hughes, scholar of vivification, prime circle. The Well of Souls was my life's work. The Templars rule from the Forum, and you can't get a thing done in the city without the sponsorship of one of them. They can be powerful allies, but the one thing you don't want to do is get on their bad side. The Tuatha are a radical splinter of the Fae. Insane, bloodthirsty, and immortal. Even when they die, their essence returns home to be reborn later. They hate mortals like you and me, and want us wiped off the face of Amalur. I can only imagine how much they hate the idea of mortals being reborn. My old colleague, Ventrinio Desellini. For a time we worked together under Templar Etienne. He was a brilliant scholar, but a terrible person. I told Etienne he couldn't be trusted and refused to work with him, but it appears the Templars simply moved him to another lab with some mysterious assistant. Oh, don't call it that. You're just having a talk with Etienne in the library. In return for your discretion, he'll give us what we want. I know it's unpleasant, but when you work with the Templars, you just start thinking this way. It helps you stay alive.
In ancient times, the desert had no shade. The sun burned the land to ruin. The rivers disappeared, and the animals hid underground. The people cried to Helios for mercy, but he didn't answer their prayers. As the plants withered in the heat, the hollow lands echoed with the crackle of fires.
On the third year of passage, Tyrion entered Dalantarth. In dark wood and fany field she strode, until from wandering she was taken to the roots of mighty Velagru's child. So laden with Lyria's song, a greater magic known to none, she communed with nature's spirit, but the lyric she sought was not found. So to the plains of Erethel travelled the Lyria-guided Tyrion. Wind chased her swarthy cloak and tresses, masked her against the moonlit plains. That ebon evening tide, that coloured shade that so long ago marked us, Tyrion marched against the celestial expanse. Beneath the diamonded sky she found her rest.
He only needed one name, the Carver, like the wind, or the lightning, or the dawn. With his presence, a new age began. The kings of the south stood. They were the lords of the desert sea.
Rattlesnake was a vain and ugly creature. He crawled in dark places and avoided the other desert animals. He was lonely but refused to act like it. One day, while sitting under a rock and wishing to be happy, he saw a desert runner sprinting past. "Wait," he called to the bird. "I have a favor to ask of you."
forest you call Dalantarth was ruled by Issa. The god-king fostered communion, a sharing. The mortals heeded his wisdom. The Fae followed his spirit. He linked the natural with the divine and became a nature unto himself. He knew the lives of elf, human, gnome, and all people. He showed the Fae these words and ways. He united the Oath clans. As the meadow grows into woodland, so did Issa grow the court of summer.
Hold right there, newcomer. I welcome you to Edessa, but before you enter, I must catalogue your visit. Please answer the questions as truthfully as possible. It's imperative that our tallies be accurate. Now, what brings you to Edessa? Yes, well, at least you look more put together than some of the people that came here before you. Poor sods. With any luck, your errands go without incident. Now, where have you come to Edessa from? From Morris Hughes? You mean to say you've come from Alistar? Yes, I see it now. They were wrong about your nose, but you match the description of the one I was to look out for. We can dispense with the remainder of my questions. You are free to enter Edessa. Sandstone Villa will serve as your lodgings. Temporarily. Excuse my rudeness. I am Senar Bruges, Tallier second class to the Domus Politica. My purpose is to sort those that come to Edessa, to welcome them to the city while maintaining the delicate balance we gnomes have achieved. They help sort the newly arrived in the city. We want to ensure that everyone is placed where they properly belong. This is rare, newcomer. Very rare. If I can speak frankly, I'm not sure this is the blessing you take it to be. True, you have been saved from the squalid lodgings of the Hospitalis quarters. But Sandstone Villa is reserved for, well, it is not my place to speak of it. This key will provide you with access to the villa. You would do well to be very aware of your surroundings, stranger. Now, good day. Yes, you are now officially recorded as having entered Edessa, center of all gnomish society in the Feylands. I'm sure you'll learn about the city the more time you spend in it. It is vast, but well designed. The Domus Politica has me tallying and sorting all new arrivals to the city. Another few years and I could be Tallier, first class. The Domus is where all of Edessa's political work is done. The Templars determine the policy, and it is there that we enact it. Not everyone is given a villa just for arriving here. But I'd be careful. A gifted necklace can easily be a golden chain. Yes, yes, go on.
Milo at your service. at your service.
Yes? What do you want? I am not in the habit of making conversation with strangers, especially one of your stature. Please be quick. The shining jewel of knowledge. An oasis of reason and order, carved by the gnomes into the dusty wilds of Datir. Unlike the lofty idealism of the Alpha and the messy pragmatism of the humans, we gnomes proudly embrace the virtues of reason and order. As such, we must maintain neutrality in these periodic wars that spring up. We cannot risk tainting our knowledge by taking sides. You understand? It is an estate that I have ordered to be kept empty for when I have need of it, such as now. From their council in the Forum, the Templars guide the advancement of our society. Our tremendous successes are due to their unswerving pursuit of knowledge. Each Templar is allowed a wide degree of freedom in the projects they sponsor, but they are ultimately accountable to the rest of the Forum. I see. Think very, very carefully about what you are saying. Octien is a Templar. He is in a position of the highest authority. And who, may I ask, are you? For you to accuse Octien without having a direct confession is not only meaningless, but contrary to all our procedures. Even if this were true, or even already suspected, it would have to be corroborated by Octien himself. That requires a confession. As he is not here to present the charges himself, I must assume that no such confession exists. Now, I have done all I can for you. Please, trouble me no further with this matter, especially with such insufficient evidence. We have already discussed this. Nothing short of a confession would convict him. As such, Templar Octien will remain undisturbed in the Livrarium.
Hello. I'm here to send regrets on behalf of Templar Joriel. While she wishes to extend you aid, she's stymied by protocol. What she gave you was an official response. I'm here to give you another response. A personal one. I am a political aide for Templar Joriel. I operate in a number of capacities for the Templars' official and unofficial business. My superior has suspected for some time the crimes that you've levied against Templar Octien. But like you, she is frustrated by his status. Allow me to be direct. If you can make Templar Octien publicly acknowledge his crimes, then Templar Joriel will reward you. She will be your patron of sorts. The city is a marvelous place. Recently, my work has taken me farther from its walls for more often, and I'm sadder for it. I am an aide to Templar Joriel. Usually, my work takes the form of drafting letters, taking notes of various functions, and so on. My superior is a very, very busy person. It is unfortunate that some wrongs escape her notice, and those she does notice cannot always be immediately righted. You wish to bring the Templar to justice, yes? Then you must get him to publicly acknowledge his crimes in some form. As my superior no doubt told you, the Templar may be found in the Livrarium. I suggest you go there.
What?
What's needed?
Hello there.
Hello, I.
Yes? Yes?
Further, what I found confusing.
Need something?
What? Be quick.
You're alive. What an unexpected and quite unfortunate turn of events. For starters, he expected you to be rotting in a sandy ditch somewhere. Supper for the carrion birds. Understand, you and I are alike. All we both want is to see this business reach its end. Did it? Here you stand, suspecting me of a great many crimes, yet unable to lift a finger. Tell me, who has the power? Or what? You'll slaughter me in a murderous rage? Typical. Your kind is as predictable as it is stupid. I'm afraid you'll find me quite hard to kill. Unfortunately, I cannot say the same for you. Attack me in this city, and I won't just have you clapped in irons. No, I'll hand you over to the scholars in the Basilica for research. I'll admit I did not see you and Hughes lying to blackmail me. His conscience was always his biggest liability. Ventrinio will take over research on the well. He has no such weaknesses. Perhaps I'll even give him your corpse to examine. After all, you met your first death as his assistant. It would be a reunion. Of course. And it's such a pity you'll never find out. You wouldn't dare.
Well, if setting fire to the livrarium and hiring assassins is not an admission of guilt on Octien's part, I certainly don't know what is. It is clear that we Templars must make him assume responsibility for his actions, overt as well as hidden. Even though you went against my explicit instruction, you were effective. You have my respect. Should he survive the wounds earned in battle, I should think so. To that effect, I have ordered a moratorium on all of his current studies and projects. All, perhaps, save this mysterious Well of Souls. That one will take some deliberation, considering its various ethical and societal ramifications. Regardless, gnome society is in your debt, and we always pay what is owed. Ventrinio Desalini. One name I never expected to be brought into this business. It seems he has escaped the gallows yet again. I believe your friend Scholar Hughes may be able to help. While you were here, my people found him salvaging the tomes Octien attempted to burn. Now, you must excuse me. A Templar has fallen from power, and Edessa's political buzzards are circling.
Good tidings. Be quick.
It was my mistake to assume that Octien would go quietly, or that he would leave evidence behind. Such a waste. Some of those books he burned were centuries old, but luckily for us, I was able to salvage some from the flames. Oh, a great many prizes. Treatises on the nature of death, tables upon tables of autopsy analyses, but only one item of true value. Octien's diary. Based off of what I've read in these pages, Ventrinio has been working on an island off of Cluricon. Indeed. I hear rumors that Melsin Shear has been cleared and the army is ready to march into Cluricon and beyond. Sounds like you're to thank for that. And when you meet Ventrinio, be wary. He's a complicated figure, but a genius nonetheless. He may try to kill you the second time around as well. But regardless, he has a way into Alabastra. I hope for your sake, he's willing to share it. Unfortunately, research on the Well of Souls will be put on hold. Octien organized it in secret, and the other Templars will want to learn all they can of it. But I do not think I'll be idle in the meantime. With Octien out of the way, there will be need of a new Templar in Edessa. My old colleague, Ventrinio Desalini. For a time we worked together under Templar Octien. He was a brilliant scholar, but a terrible person. Octien's journal shows that Ventrinio's assistant died during an important mission into the heart of Alabastra. I don't know how to say this, but the date of the assistant's death is shortly before you came back to life.
Yes?
Octien seems to have gotten what he deserves. I can't say I understand gnomish politics, but Hughes is safe, and now we know where Ventrinio is. Seems like a win. No time to clean up, though. I've got news from the front lines in Cluricon. The army has been making progress in Cluricon, but the further we push, the harder it gets. The Tuatha know the land and are too well organized. But we've heard rumors of a small band of Winter Fae harassing the Tuatha somewhere in the swamps. The scouts can't track them down, but perhaps the hero of Mel Sen-Shir could find them.
Yes?
Another?
Need something. What do you want? I don't know you, and you don't look scoria, so you'd best be on your way. I remember them from the booming days, when we all worked together to bring up the Terrenium. Now everyone but us has turned to the sword for work. Yes, I'm a scoria, one in a long line of miners and labourers. It isn't the most respected line of work, but where would the world be without us? A den of thieves and corruption, that's what the village has become. Travellers to the east, mercenaries prowling the streets, starving men in the mines. It's a disaster. Whitestone is not worth your time, friend. It'll bleed the life right out of you.
You're not supposed to be sniffing around over here. Go on, get! The gnomes carved the place to pieces, and then picked up and left before the dust hit the ground. They took everything, left nothing. Working down here in Apatir is the best job I've ever had. All I've got to do is stand in this spot dawn to dusk and make sure the riffraff don't enter. A boggart could do it. I've seen many villages beyond hope, but none so far gone as Whitestone. It would be better left to the dust. We've got your usual drunks, thieves and killers. Most of them are from Whitestone, but a few hail from the outlying mines. Too bad you're not permitted inside. You might pick up a useful skill or two. Anything to survive in Apatir. Keep walking.
They found me! Make it quick.
Just watch maze is just
What?
too expensive.
You need another? Do not miss Leogryph's many marvels. Every serious student shops at Leogryph's. Lyria's light guide you. Mages worth their salt, buy from Leogryph's. A pleasure, I assure you. I've been supplying scholars and students alike for many a year. Those rare and potent marvels unavailable within their compound, I am happy to supply. Lyria's city. Magic runs through its veins, echoes in its courts and byways, and I do my modest part.
Magic's mistress and goddess of fate, which is not but magic's deepest weave, after all. To be honest, I never actually passed the initiation trials. An oversight, I assure you. Arrogant fools. Lyria's light guide you. Curios, talismans, items of power.
Siegebreaker.
The ships are loading now for Melsen Shear. Are you ready to board? Suit yourself. The ships are loading now for Melsen Shear. Are you ready to board? Right away.
Greetings.
Lyria's smiling upon us now.
Hail, warrior!
Well met. When the greater Niskaru arrives. Well met.
The war here's a bloody thing.
You! Stop! State your business.
Keep your hands off me, fool. I'm no Tuatha. I must speak with the Siegebreaker. It is a pleasure to meet the Siegebreaker. Especially here, in a land where pleasure has been all too rare. I am Sidon the Outcast, Prince in exile of the House of Sorrows. I'm here to welcome you to our home. I see the hesitation in your eyes. Although I am Fae of the Winter Court, you and I have a common enemy. I am Sidon the Outcast. Once, I was Prince of the House of Sorrows, but my true duties are to the true Court of Winter. The Winter Fae have been disgraced and despoiled by Gadflo and the Tuatha. With your help, I can end their reign. Clearly I'm not Tuatha. I carry a loathing for them that mortals could never understand. I simply approached your lines peacefully and expressed my desire to speak with the Siegebreaker. It seems that even the simplest mortal soldier can recognize an ally against our mutual enemy. Indeed. You accomplished a great feat here. But the Tuatha Deon are far from defeated. Before striking the heart, you must trim the fat and cleave through the bones. If you wish to put an end to Gadflo's reign, meet my brethren and me at Foe's Hearth to the east, and we can talk further there. Yes, I traveled with Agarth back in his prime, but those are stories for another time. I've heard of her, and I've seen her work. A dead diplomat here, a salvaged peace treaty there, a handful of lies told to protect an innocent. But even as a collector of secrets, there's precious little I know about her. Nothing could be more beautiful than a mystery like her. We are the remains of the Winter Fae. Refugees from the capital of Bale. Outcasts from the houses. And those who escaped Prismere Blades. The Tuatha have taken our court and our birthrights. And for that, we will take their lives. To restore a balance once again. I am Sidon the Outcast. Once I was Prince of the House of Sorrows, but my true duties are to my kind. The Winter Fae have been disgraced and despoiled by Gadflo and his new god. For House and Heartbreak, I shall end his reign. We have walked these lands for countless ages. Always playing the same roles, always seeing to the proper cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. Now, we face the end of our ways. Not from the mortals, as some had feared, but from our own kind. That little fool used to be nothing more than a capering jester in the Winter Court. That he found the power to rise against the High King and defeat him. It's enough to make you think there's something to his god, Tirnoch. The House of Sorrows is home to the lovelorn, the desperate, and those ravaged by hope. Together, my brethren and I took back what the world had taken from us. Now, the Tuatha have taken our people, our houses, and our self-respect. We grieve at these losses, but we shall take them back by whatever means necessary. Home of my heart, and grave of my troubles. This is where the brave and foolish come to die. And in death, they feed the swift and sly. Prismere has always grown in our lands, but only with a surge of magic into our world was it anything other than a simple gem. When mortals think of Fae, they prefer to think of the Summer Court. And why not? They're radiant and true, even if they are too full of themselves. By all means, pretend all the Fae are like them. You'd never dare go to sleep if you truly understood the rest of us. The Tuatha have corrupted the very soul of the Unseelie, twisting our people, stealing our noble houses, and driving our true leaders into exile. I've tried to get the Unseelie to unite against them, By the time we realized their threat, it was too late. But I'll not give up. No need to be surprised. We know that you seek the corpse collector. Secrets are among our specialties. It wasn't so long ago that you were working with him here. But then, that was a lifetime ago for you, wasn't it? We're only a shadow of what we were before Gadflow poisoned our minds. Seems natural for embodiments of decay, doesn't it? But unlike our lighter siblings in the Summer Court, we'll fight to cleanse the Tuatha from our lands, just as any wounded animal would. I'd rather not talk here. Cluricon is filled with Tuatha spies. Travel to the old ruins at Foe's Hearth. We'll meet you inside and we can talk there. Now be careful. These swamps can be treacherous.
You go ahead. It's been some time since Sidon and I had a chance to talk.
Indeed, Agarth. I hear on the winds that you laid down your sword and drowned yourself in drink when you learned the ways of fate. And yet here you are, sword in hand, again the victor. How is this?
It's a long tale. It started when I sobered up long enough to go bury a friend of mine in Alistar Tower. Or rather, that's what I had planned to do.
Winter is strong in this place. When first the Fae walked into its depths, it bore great fossils, bones of beasts greater and more terrifying than we Fae. But for all their strength, the earth at their feet lasted longer. It sapped their strength, their life, their flesh.
I have waited some time for you to come, Siegebreaker, and it seems that my patience has, at least, been worthwhile. The House of Sorrows has need of your might. Aid us, and you will earn a strong ally in the war against the Tuatha Deon. You may call me Bizarrain. I represent one of the great houses of the Winter Court, the House of Sorrows. This war with the Tuatha has worn the house to all but dust. We Fae are ill-equipped to handle such change, but your kind, you mortals, can bear it. Like your Alfar allies, we Winter Fae suffer under the Tuatha's onslaught. And like the Alfar, we Winter Fae need a champion. But it is a difficult position we are in, mortal. The Fae are not like your kind. We have different priorities, different threats. We need someone who understands that. It is not a simple task I ask of you. I have only approached you because you show the potential of use. You must still prove your worth. Go to the Midden and find the place called the Proving Halls. This Hearthstone will grant you access. Once you are within the halls, my questions will be answered.
It is agreeable to see you, Siegebreaker. Cluricon can be inhospitable at times, as the Tuatha have learned. We've made sure of it. Destroying the Tuatha, of course. They've corrupted our court and sullied our lands, and we shall have our vengeance. We are the bitter frost, the last few remnants of free Winterfell. We have refused to bend knee to Gadflow or his god. But still, the once noble houses of sorrow, pride, and vengeance have all fallen under Gadflow's sway. Until they're freed, the Tuatha's ranks will continue to swell with the faithful. You can't fight a war on your own. And even if you could, you'd find your path barred by the House of Pride, as well as the House of Vengeance. You need a way to strike at their heart, a way to reach Gadflow himself. And we know how you can get there. Blind him, cut out his tongue, draw the venom from our land. Only then will we be able to begin to strike at Alabastra. The Tuatha have built Prismere chantries across Cluricon. From here, Godflow rallies the faithful, preaches the word of Tirnoch, and corrupts our land. Destroy these chantries and disrupt Godflow's ability to infect this land. Without Godflow to guide them, the Tuatha in Cluricon will be disorganized and scattered. When this is done, we'll take you to Ventrinio. He can help you breach Alabastra. The Tuatha built chantries of Prismere in the heart of Cluricon. From here, Godflow watches, and his toxic prayers seep into the heart of every Winter Fae. No Fae can withstand their power up close, and no House of the Winter Court can be free until those abominations are destroyed. There are 3 of them, to the south and east. Kill their guards, then smash their crystals and be done with them. Godflow will try to stop you, but it's just a harmless projection. He can't hurt you. At least, not directly. Go now. Break the tyrant's grip.
So few of the Winter Court left to stand against the Tuatha.
It was a time of change. The cycles of the seasons turned as ever, but inside the bones of the earth, there lurked a cold. It was not the cold of winter. Beside the houses of sorrows, pride, and vengeance, a new turmoil fomented. A magic hitherto unseen.
Faithful, a child of dust is here for death. Grant their pitiful wish, dear young mortal's own, and blesses you with her unyielding reign. No longer shall we tolerate the mortals and their vile presence in our world. So, the undying mortal from the well has returned. Your mere existence is an abomination against all things. How can you not see this? Mortals pervert the world, twisting it to their own ends. Your unnatural new life is only the latest in a long line of your kind's debaucheries. But Tiernok the Merciful chose me to be the cure. My army is the wildfire that will clear the land of you and your kind. mortals stole the secrets of magic, and now they come to take our land. But all that they find here shall be death. Mortals are born to die. In Tyrnak's name, we must lead them to their fate. You struggle against the force of a simple army. How will you fare, I wonder, against the power of a god? Of course you aren't. You may be a foolish, unclean sin against the natural order, but I'll grant that you're no coward. The only solution is for you to be cleansed when Tyrnak the Merciful comes to our world. Soon. A mortal dares to stand against Tirnoch? Strike him down and salt the earth of his grave. Nothing may live, lest Tirnoch commands it. Try as you might, struggle as you will, you are deluded. There is no winning for you, only death. Yes, but death as you define it means little to us. The great cycle returns, each to offer as to offer again. And every time they do, Tirnoch gets stronger. Soon, she will be born into this world. You will witness her power personally, and it will be the last thing your mortal flesh shall ever feel.
group of Winterfey, called the House of Sorrows, have built their lives around the Midden. They feed and tend the bodies there, and sanctify the ground with what dead they bring. It is they who preserve the culture of our people, and make this the cradle of winter. For their part, they have been given a beacon, a small sapling of white bark and red leaves, growing from the bodies in the Midden. They call it the Hallowed Tree.
Gadflow's voice has fallen silent in this land. The Tuatha are frightened and disorganized. They run back to Alabastra to make their final stand. We owe you much. Our eyes are opened and our blades unsheathed. Cluricon is won, but the House of Pride stands between us and the final goal. We are now free to press forward, and I can take you to an old friend who knows the next step. Yes, we will take you to his filthy tower on the island of Danistar. He hides within, and has not emerged in some time. I would like nothing more than to let him rot there. But he knows of a way past the sentinel of the House of Pride. But there will be more danger on the path ahead. Take these blades to prepare for whatever troubles you will face at his tower or beyond. Far to the southwest, there is a darkened tree by the Caelid coast. Meet me there, and we can walk the shadow to the gnome's tower. Aelin Shear will be waiting there. She was most insistent to join in whatever business you have with the Collector of the Dead. My people are no strangers to exile on the barren island of Danistar. To steal back our freedom, the House of Sorrows forged a path to the coast through living shadow. It's safe so long as you keep your eyes closed during the journey, and ignore the whispers. We've seen Ventrinio leave the island before, but until recently, he always had company. Usually they were henchmen. Sometimes they were corpses. And once, not too long ago, it was you. Danistar Island is sheltered from visitors by stone and storm. Exiles of the Winter Court were once banished to its lonely shores. We know of a secret shadowed path, a legacy from a house all too familiar with exile. Meet me at the Caelid coast. The Winterfey know of a shadow path to Ventrinio's island. We will meet again at the shadowed tree on the Caelid coast.
The Tuatha are on the run. Good work. Plus, it's much more pleasant here without Gadflow bellowing at me from all corners. But enough pleasantry. Are you prepared for your reunion with Ventrinio? The notes we got from Octien say that you were employed as Ventrinio's assistant in his secret laboratory. You were with him in Alabastra when you died, but the notes weren't clear on what happened. I'm sure the two of you have so much catching up to do. Very forthright of you. I'm sure he'll be very reasonable. He probably won't even ask why you're back from the dead. Just make sure he lives long enough to get us into Alabastra, and you can count on my help. Sidon's band of merciless fae with lifetimes of training and everything to fight for? Yes, I think they'll be quite useful allies indeed. I've heard tales of his work, half trickster, half spirit of vengeance. Danistar is almost perfectly defended. Ventrinio could keep an army off of its shores. Good thing we found another way there. Believe it or not, the House of Sorrows is the most welcoming of the Unseelie houses. Then again, a viper nest is friendlier than the houses of pride and vengeance. Secret fae paths through elemental darkness? Magic like that should be closely guarded. Imagine how powerful it could be. He's a worm, but a useful one. Octien took quite a risk setting him up in Cluracan. Must have made a lot of deals to keep him safely hidden away. Of course! This is bound to be informative. I'm just disappointed I never had a chance to see the original Well of Souls. I believe our new friend has a disturbing path of living shadow to offer you.
Make it quick.
I hope you're ready for this. I believe our new friend has a disturbing path of living shadow to offer you. By all means, this island smells like death. Stay behind me. Whatever that gnome's been up to, it looks like he's made a few Just as Hughes thought, Ventrinio used the same wards from their old lab. This'll be quick. Follow me and be careful.
The energy from the Well of Souls is overwhelming. Damn it! What's wrong?
And why are there so many lads?
Sounds like our rat is caught in a trap. I'm sure he'd be happy to help whoever saves him. Careful, or we'll get trapped up there too. Here's where we part ways. I'll stop the lads at the stairwell. You get upstairs and retrieve Ventrinio. Shouldn't be hard to find him. Keep moving up and follow the cowardly shrieking. I'll hold this staircase. Move!
A new source of power? What sort of nonsense is this? If anything had come in here, my detection spells would have... Wait. Who's down there? Show yourself! Damn it all! I don't care who you are. Get up it! Key to stabilizing the well. This is what I get for using all those soldiers. I never should have let them keep their swords. When you get up here, try not to look directly into the well. It can be a little upsetting. Damn it! Hurry! Before the whole well starts to collapse. Took your gods, damn it! Ever since the Baelor was defeated, the chaos magic sent the well off its alignment. You show up, and now the Laz are... Wait. What? It's you. You're alive. But I saw you die. It was terrible. You were the best assistant I ever had. Who else could have helped me get into Alabastra? Who else had that ambition? We got more than enough Prismere, but you wanted to track down the power source, even if it meant sneaking right onto Gadflow's nose. I spent days trying to recover your body, but I never expected to find you alive, or for you to return. Speaking of which, how did you return anyway? What? That's impossible. You were attuned at this well. You've never even set foot in his lab. Ha! Hughes is a joke. He doesn't have the stomach for this work. Don't try waking the dead if you're not ready to make a few corpses, I say. But the well is coming down around us. Quick! I've got to slow the energy and shut this thing down. And don't... Oh, damn it all. Here they come. Hold them off. The Laz are here. Hold them off while I try to stop the flow of energy to the well. Ignore the rumbling. Focus on the land. I think. anything we could... All my work gone. Damn it all! But at least we're still alive. Once again, I triumph over death itself. Going back into Alabastra. Well, I still have a way in, but it's more dangerous now than the last time we went. I'll need more Prismere if I'm to rebuild the well. And I suppose I owe you something for saving my life. Perhaps this talisman can help you. It's a little something I salvaged from the debris. It might just help against whatever killed you the first time. We got in with a little help, of course. See, it's all because of Callus Dren, the Defender of Pride. In his house, no one can stand before him. None can even approach, unless you have my little secret. Patience, patience. You'll have it soon enough. I'm going to have to dig it out of the rubble of the tower. Go to the field of Huber, and I'll meet you there. And if you value your life, do not approach Dren. Just go to the field of Huber and wait for me. I'll meet you. Get going.
Keep an eye on them.
Remember. There's a lot of rubble to search through. I'll get going. And remember, don't go near Dren until I get there.